Howdy, comedian Chico American here, and I am so excited to present to you my first 1-hour comedy special, Misadventures, full of, well, my misadventures. I hope you enjoy, and Chico out.
I can't see for his cheap auger. You guys notice he looks different than normal? He got his hair done. He used to look like Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead, and I looked like Caitlyn Jenner. Get Brazilian wax too on there. And I like to start out with, first of all, we're going to use this. It's a short story that started about 10 years ago. My wife and I were watching a political debate, and from actually set on national TV, the man's hand size was directly proportional to the size of his manhood. After the debate, my wife turned to me and said, "Your hands are a lot bigger than they should be." Bitch. There we go. I'm sure you're all well aware by now that you can't really take what Trump says at face value. For example, when he's talking about playing 18 holes, he's not talking about golf. For him, playing 18 holes means partying with 6 hookers. Do the math. Okay. Did anyone notice during his swearing-in ceremony that he didn't place his hand on the Bible? I think he knew intuitively if he put his hand on the Bible, it would probably burst into flames and ignite that roadkill on his head. That was very smart of him. He also, his inauguration day was on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I didn't know if you know that or not. And I could just imagine Dr. King must have been rolling in his grave and thinking to himself, you know, I turned the other cheek and I forgave all those whiteys, but this orangey, fuck him. I just got back from Pierre. I was in Pierre for my mom's 99th birthday, and I bought her a dream catcher. And during the birthday party, I drank too much, and I spilt my beer on her dream catcher. And without thinking, I said, "Well, Mom, I guess you now have a wet dream catcher." I'm out of the will. So there we go. After too much Jesus juice, Mom decided to tell everybody that for her 100th birthday that she wanted to look younger, and she was going to get plastic surgery. Specifically, she was going to get an eye job, and a nose job, and a neck job, which I'd never heard of. Okay, Mom, great. So I was sitting next to her former priest, and this elderly gentleman, quite elderly, he had very young-looking hands. And without thinking, I said, "Father, did you get a hand job?" I'm going to hell. Now, growing old is hell. I never thought the day would come where I would be freebasing Viagra, but here I am. A lot of you young people probably don't know this, but before Viagra, the only remedy for erectile dysfunction was a couple popsicle sticks and some duct tape. Things have gotten better. I'm experiencing old age firsthand. 50 years ago, when I was 24, I got a brown belt in judo. Today at 74, I've got a brown streak in my shorts. It's just not fair, you know what I mean? Now that I'm retired, I watch a lot of TV, and I really like fiction. So I watch a lot of Fox News. I used to have a roommate who was so lazy that his idea of a hobby was to lay around all day long and collect dust. He was so lazy, he wouldn't even jerk off. He took naps most of the day, hoping for a wet dream. He's now in Congress. Because he never dusted off his manhood, we named him Dusty Johnson. A couple of months ago, I went to a tattoo parlor and asked the tattoo artist that I would like to have an armband tattoo around my bicep. And he said, "Be $50. So I rolled up my sleeve and he said, "I can do yours for $25. I walked past that tattoo parlor again recently, and there was a long line of people waiting to get in. So I asked the owner, who was standing outside by the door, what was going on. And he said, "We're giving all the women free tattoos who are willing to go topless." And he said, "Business has been great, and we need a kind of a catchy tagline to promote this event. Any suggestions?" So I thought for a while, how about tit for tat? What do you think? Will that work? I can't believe that Ham's beer is making a comeback. I just doesn't, I can't understand it, because drinking Ham's beer is like having sex on the beach. It's fucking near water. It's awful. I flew into Rapid a couple nights ago, and while standing at the luggage carousel, I got to meet the TSA bomb sniffing dog. And apparently, I have explosives in my crotch. You know, the dog ain't wrong, but when I told my wife that a bomb sniffing dog had stuck its nose in my crotch because apparently it thought that it had detected an explosive device, she said, "Are you sure it wasn't a cadaver dog?" Bitch. And speaking of bitches, the next coming up is Travis Larson. Travis, come on up, buddy. Take over. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. I take more offense to that hams joke than being called a bitch, because I do love some fucking hams. Some cheap beer just gets me going. I do have a couple jokes for you guys tonight. And I'm gonna start telling them now. Maybe. So, I don't know about you guys, but I gotta hold this. I don't like the mic stand. That thing fucking whack. I'm not a big fan of domestic violence. So when one of my very close friends told me that her boyfriend would threaten to beat her up every time he didn't make her a sandwich, I thought, that's fucked up. You should get out of that relationship. But then she told me that she was in a relationship with a heroin dealer named Chartreuse. And I thought, you kind of should have expected that. I feel like you should have saw that one coming. A lot of people tell me that I look like Aquaman, but if instead of a trident, he had a giant syringe, and instead of water, he controlled heroin. I want to get my grandkids a pet, but I don't have kids yet. So I figured I'd just buy a tortoise, see how it goes. With the state of how America's going, I feel like I have to have a contingency plan for if I ever get called racist. So I kind of want some feedback on my contingency plan. I got it all laid out. If you guys, I'm going to tell you, and then just let me know what you think. The first one is, I'm not racist. I think Pocahontas from the Disney film Pocahontas is hot. I'm not racist. I think the volcano from the Disney film Moana is hot. I'm not racist. I think the horse from the Disney film Spirit is hot. And the last one is, I'm not racist. I only say the N-word when I'm singing along to rap songs, or if my coworker makes me really upset. Oh, fuck. A lot of people tell me I look like Jesus, but if instead of a big cross, he had a giant syringe, and instead of wine, he turned water into heroin. Oh, fuck. So I feel like I would have done a lot better in the 80s with my long hair and my nicotine addiction. Because now people just look down on me for smoking cigarettes, and I'm getting fucking tired of it. So I've started to look down on people for things that they do in their daily lives. Like, I'll walk into my house, my roommate will be doing his taxes. I'll be like, gross. It smells like fucking taxes in here. Why the fuck don't you do that shit outside? Yeah. I've lived in a lot of ghetto neighborhoods, being from Rapid City. And
None of my family's never been able to be like one of the West Side families. We're one of the North Side families. So like right now I live in a trailer park, and one day I was sitting on my fucking couch masturbating, and I hear a knock at the door. And I was like, they'll come back later, you know. And they knock again, and I was like, okay, maybe it's an emergency. So I pulled the butt plug out, and I pull on my pants, and I answer the door, and there's two missionaries standing at my door. And they're like, do you know our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? And I was like, yeah, I don't really need a savior right now, though. So, like, I think I'm okay. And I go to shut the door, and the guy stops the door from closing, and he lifts up his shirt, and he's got a Glock 9 tucked in his waistband. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And he's like, you're about to need a savior. So I took his pamphlet, and I was like, all right, see ya on Sunday. And then I go to shut the door again, and the motherfucker stops it again. And I was like, now what? Like, I did your thing, I listened to your spiel, and he tells me to make him a sandwich. I was like, oh shit, chartreuse? Fucking converted his ass. You believe that? I got a letter the other day, and then in big bold letters when I opened it, it said Travis Larson versus the state of South Dakota. And I don't know what the competition is, but I've been smoking meth and doing violent crimes for a week now just to practice, and I think I got this. All right. I think I'm done. I'm gonna bring who you guys came to see out. He's a Marine veteran. He's one of the few, the proud, the legal Chico American.
All right, so welcome to my first comedy special. Thank y'all so much. I think the whole 15 of y'all. It's fine, it's intimate, SMI. So a couple of rules before I start. The whole phones and the photography and going live. Fuck it, I'm gonna post this free for everybody, so go nuts. Woo! All right, go ahead and flash, all right? And on that note, I think every comedian has their, well, how the hell did you get in a comedy story? Because people do ask us, like, what the fuck happened to you that you're doing that? Like, Travis, what happened to you that you had to do up here and do comedy?
I like making people laugh, but it doesn't work very well.
He likes making people laugh, and he likes drugs. Yes, all right. So my story of how I got into comedy was the day that 6 cops pulled guns on me and almost killed me. Okay, so I got your attention. Here we go. Story time. So at the time, I'm dating this really beautiful black girl. I swear it matters. And she was shopping around for a very specific vehicle. And we're living down in Georgia. She found this place online at this place called, I don't remember the name of it, so let's just fucking call it Tony's, right? So we're driving down to Tony's, and Tony's is far. And I know we're in the South, but shit, we started with like regular, like 2 lanes and, service lanes on the outside, and then 1 lane service lanes, and the service lanes went away. We just kept fucking going. I swear, we were like half a minute away from it turning into a dirt road. So GPS is in its infancy at this time. There's a fucking, yeah. GPS is in its infancy at this time. So every time I stop the fucking vehicle, the GPS is fucking spinning. So of course I get fucking lost. So I pull into one of the parking spots, and I'm trying to get my bearings. And I tell my girl, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just pull out. And as I'm pulling out, it is impossible to get out of one of the lanes without, blocking one of the lanes. And I guess this guy just hated the fact that I inconvenienced him for like a second. So he didn't flip me off or anything. He just did this really aggressive, like, "Argh." So, tiny little lanes. We're right next to each other. My window's down. So I give him the universal middle finger. He goes that way. I go this way. The GPS stops spinning long enough for us to figure out, yeah, we got to go back that way. And we're at the light. We look up, and he's there. This man had busted a U, off-roaded. Remember, there's no more service lanes. Blocked us in a 4-way interception. He's already out of his car. He's blocking us with his car door, and his body. Big black guy, 6 foot plus, 250 plus pounds, coming right at my tiny little Yaris with my window down, right? And as Travis mentioned, I'm a Marine veteran. I'm a Marine Iraq war veteran. So I'm armed. I remember putting my feet up on the door and pushing away and grabbing my gun. I put it like right here, John Wick style, right? Wanna be? And as long as he was outside of the car, no problem. But if he would have like reached in, I guess I would have taken it out, and then I guess the inside of my car would have gotten a new paint job. Oh. And then I told him in a very kind, gentle, and loving voice to get the fuck away from my goddamn vehicle, right? So he steps back. I can finally get around him, right? And you can't go back. He's right there. So I got to do that weird thing when I got to do like 3 left turns and a right to go back the way that I'm going. And that's when my girl spoke up. Now, smart man, we listen to our women, and I should have listened to her that day because she was like, do you want to call the cops? And I was like, nah, I really don't want to deal with it. I'm also really big into Black Lives Matter, and I don't want to weaponize the police and all that other liberal bullshit that I'm always spieling. Plus, I'm just trying to make it to Tony's. Well, is that him behind us? What? Like, sure enough, turn by turn, he is following a vehicle that just pulled a gun on him. Now, do you want to call the cops? And I just didn't want to deal with it, just trying to get to Tony's. And I was just like, nah, let him get bored. But at the back of my mind, I was thinking, I hope he didn't call the cops. Yeah, he did. And you can just imagine what he told them. Some crazy guy just pulled a gun on me. He's a crazy Mexican spick. We see him up the road. And as soon as we pass him, woo, pull us over. Now, here's where the training kicks in. Roll the window down, show your hands to show that you're not holding a firearm, right? And yeah, I look over, and it can't just be one goddamn cop car. 2 other cop cars show up, 6 cops, guns pointed, and they are going ham. Get your fucking hands on the car! Get your fucking hands on the car! Get your fucking hands on the car! I'm sitting there like, hands? Like, why do they keep saying that? And I look over at my date, and she's literally just sitting there like, with this look on her face that every woman's had when they told their man to do something and didn't get listened to. All right? So I'm just sitting there going, baby, get your fucking hands on the car for fucking killing them, fucking shoot us! And with the most attitude, she just goes, window, hands, like a little manicure. Cops come over, and of course, he does the most, right? He puts me in an arm lock. Don't fucking move. Yes, sir. The gun's right there. I don't give a fuck. Okay, it's just going to fall when you open the door. Takes the gun, puts it in the back seat. I never took it out of the holster. And you know what the cops have to do. They got to handcuff, they got to separate, and they have to interrogate. And he's doing that thing where he's trying to catch you in a lie, right? He keeps interrupting me. However, I'm a huge Judge Judy fan, and one of my favorite things that Judge Judy says is, you don't have to have a good memory if you're telling the truth. So I just kept sticking to my story. And he was trying every iteration of, and then you got out of the car. So yeah, I saw him, he did the thing, and I flipped him off, and then you got out of the car? No. And then we saw that he blocked us, he came towards us, and then you got out of the car? No. We saw that he was following us, and then you got out of the car? No, just trying to make it to Tony's, and then you got out of the car? No. Like, it was getting to the point, every time he's making me retell the story, not only is he calming down, he's like almost like apologetically pleading like, and then you got out of the car? Sir, I never got out of the car. Do you see where you're standing? That's where he was. Do you see that driver's seat? That's where I was. What'd you think he was coming to do? Coming to hit me. And you can see the cops like, oh, shit. Especially once he finds out that I was a veteran. So the 2 cops bring me and my girl together. We're still handcuffed. And in a much kinder, much nicer tone, they're like, one more time, what happened? And we start going through it. And as we start going through it, I notice a few funny things, right? The cop that was interrogating me, while they were both 6 foot tall, he was like the shorter, more rotund, short brown hair, brown porn stash. He kind of looks like Mario, like, here we go, in cop uniform. And I swear you can't make this up because his partner was the taller, skinnier, short black hair, black porn stash. He looks like Officer Luigi. I got Officers Mario and Luigi. And as we're handcuffed explaining this, Officer Luigi just interrupts us with this huge smile on his face, and he just goes, are you a comedian? And I remember sitting in that moment looking at him like, no, what I am is handcuffed, you fuck. But I didn't say that because I hadn't gotten shot yet. I kept it to myself. Instead, what I said was like, no, that's just my facial expression and my tone when I'm telling stories. I'll tell you what, if I survive this, I'll think about it. My fucking misadventures, they don't end there, all right? They let us go. We make it down the road, and the goddamn car's not even there. They didn't update their website, so. That was not the first nor the last time that guns got pulled on me. I had a Bad Boys 2 moment. And again, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the movie that came out in 2003. Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, they're cops. And Martin Lawrence has a 15-year-old daughter. And a 15-year-old kid's coming to the front door to take her on her first date. So they try to scare him. They answer the door with a golf club. They have a pistol. They act all hard. They act all thug. They point the pistol at him. They act all ghetto. And this is what this girl's family tried to do to me. So the same young lady that I went to Tony's to try to find the car with, she wanted to introduce me to her dad. And we were going to meet him at the family reunion. And she goes, and I quote, "I love you so much. You're the only one I've ever introduced to my dad." To which I responded, and I quote, "Yeah, sure, I say I believe that lie." You know how you ladies are. So as we're getting there, I don't know why she felt remiss in saying this. She was like, "Baby, don't worry. My whole family's a mix. We got black family members, and we got Hispanic family members, and white family members. Everything's going to be fine." And I was like, I don't know why you felt the need to tell me that. Chico does great at the cookout. I do great at the barbecue. And also, in 3 years of dating her, I never met these mythological other races in her family. But, as I mentioned before, I do great at the cookout. We get there, and we meet, go back to the dad's house, and dad's got a bit of an attitude. She was like, "I know y'all be living together," because she was going to spend the night with him, "but you ain't about to be doing that under my roof. I got you a hotel on base." All right. Even when I stayed on base and I was stationed on base, I didn't stay at the hotel on base, especially not now. I'm going to be there by myself. It's depressing. It's a power move. So luckily, I had a buddy who was stationed there, and I just spent the night with him and his friends and his family. Another thing about me, Chico's no idiot. I went to the family reunion armed. I had my 45 on me, and I had an $80 combat knife. Now, this is not a real knife. This is a prop. I didn't want to bring a real knife to the bar, right? So, right? And obviously, I'm no stranger, right? I'm a little bit of a fucking magician with knives and guns, right? So we go back to the dad's house, and I know that I'm going to drink, right? I know that I'm going to pour myself a Henny. And as soon as I poured it, the dad and the dad's adult cousin were like, "Chico, why don't you come sit with us?" I left the gun in the rental. She was going to keep the rental. The Uber was coming and pick me up. And so they sit me between the dad and the dad's adult cousin. And they're doing that guy macho thing where they're like talking around you, which is fine. I just kept sipping on my Henny. And that's when the dad pulled out his pistol. I guess he was trying to intimidate me or something. So he just pulls it out, points it straight up. And a couple things. One, I could see down the stock. There was no clip. There could still be one in the chamber. Second, his wife immediately shut that shit down. As soon as he pulled that out in the middle of the living room, she just went on bitching mode. "Put it down, put it down. You've been drinking. Put the fuck down." And you see him like, oh shit, puts it down. Manly. I'm so scared. The grown cousin next to me is like, "It's all right, cuz, I got mine." And he pulls up his shirt, 38 revolver in a leather holster, respect, right? And then he gets right in my face. "Where's your gun at?" Oh. And without taking my Henny out my face or my eyes off of him, I was like, I knew that I was going to be sipping on my Henny. So I left my 45 in the car. But I do have this. And I take out the $80 combat knife and I flip it in the air. It does this huge whack in the middle of the living room. And then I kind of pause there for a second, like the most ghetto Statue of Liberty, the most ghetto Mexican Statue of Liberty. Combat knife in one hand, Henny in the other. Right? I flip it back down, put it back in my pocket, and continue sipping on my goddamn Henny. Cousin goes, "You brought a knife to a gunfight?" I wasn't expecting to fight, but you have to admit, if something went down right now, I'd win. And then I gave him one of these. And out of the corner of my eye, you see the dad going, yeah, he's good. No. Yeah, I'm good. I'm Chico American. So the number one question that I get is, why Chico American? Let me explain. I was born in Mexico City, and I was raised in Douglasville, Georgia. I came to the U.S. when I was 7. And there wasn't a lot of diversity, he says to a crowd that's not exactly diverse. And every Hispanic guy got called Chico. And I really wanted to differentiate what kind of Chico, especially to my own people. Well, what kind of Chico are you? Well, I'm the most whitewashed, white-raced, white suburban Mexican ever. So a disgrace to my own people. So I added the American. And I spell it the same. Obviously, I put 1K, not 3. I know I'm from the South. It's just one, not that kind of party. And because I am an immigrant, I do see the U.S. from an outside point of view, but also I'm not the smartest being on the planet, so I call it my special K. The second most asked questions is like, hey, Chico, how come, you know speaking with one of these accents when you talk like these? And I told him that's easy. Mom used to beat us like tortillas. Oh, okay, no, that's a joke. Mom's second marriage, she divorced my dad, married a white guy, Wiley Simpson, R.I.P., rest in peace, love you. And that's the next part of this joke. She changed my name. My American name is Carlos Augustus Simpson. That is my legal American name. Swear to God, my credit score goes up half a point every time I say that on stage, so, all right? And do me a favor, don't pull away from the slapping joke, okay? One, there's a huge difference between, raising and reprimanding a child and beating one. Okay, so technically I did get beat, but that's neither here nor there, all right? And also, didn't we all go to grade school with like that one kid whose parents never reprimanded him, never told him no? They kept putting him in the corner. Billy kept getting called, counted down. Billy, 9, 8. And I'm sorry for parents here, man. Billy grew up to be that asshole early adult who didn't believe shit was gonna happen until they fucked around and found out, right? And on that day, the rest of us beat children. Not only did we fucking live for it, we egged it on. Oh no, Billy, go ahead. Go right up to the cops. Go right up to the Hells Angels. Go right up to Dave, wherever they are. Tell them exactly what you think of them. Oh! Ha! Look at you laughing at the abuse. Yeah. Hey. Oops. Speaking of awful goddamn accents, my dear mom, my sweet ama, has the worst goddamn Mexican accent I've ever heard in my fucking life, I swear to God. Whatever's the most racist, stereotypical thing you're thinking of, multiply that by 2, and that's her. And she is the king of trying to either get us arrested or deported with that fucking accent. One time she's driving us in Atlanta, and I see in the passenger mirror, I see cops with his lights on. Yeah, it runs in the family, there's a theme. And I'm like, Ama, yes? Do you see the cop not behind you? With his lights on? Yes. Well, has he been there a while, Ma? A while, why? What does that mean? Ma, I don't even actually know what that means. Pull over. Okay, I'll pull over. So dramatic. Mira este dramático. I'll give it to the cop. Even from in the South, he was the nicest cop ever because, as soon as he pulled up and did the whole, ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over? Here went my mother. No, sir, I did not know why you pulled us over. I'm like, what the fuck are you? Sorry, sir. She told down, I am just trying to enunciate. I was like, Ma, just talk fucking normal, Jesus. Like she was on this hell-bent mission to get us arrested. She's just trying to get me back in handcuffs. It's the same year. It did not end there, all right? We moved to New York City, and she works for the insurance companies overseeing construction. So she was in charge of overseeing the demolition of a New York City bridge. I know this activity is going to happen sometime soon. This includes using dynamite professionally. So my phone rings, I pick it up, and my mom immediately goes, I blew up a bridge. And I was like, yes, Mom. All right, we are brown immigrants living post 9/11 America, and you just said that shit. We are on a watch list. As Travis says, I like to take this time to say that we are the few, the proud, the legal Mexicans, okay? It feels good to be back on stage. I took a bit of a hiatus. Again, back in 2017, the same year as the officers Mario and Luigi. Wasn't a good year. I got laid off, and the only job that I could get was door-to-door roofing sales. I'd literally knock on your door, offers to do an inspection, and there was enough damage. I'd do an inspection, and I fell off one of those roofs. And I got to talk about that on stage. I fell off that roof, and that roof fall should have either killed me or made me a quadriplegic. And I went on stage, and I wrote a 5-minute set, and it went great. You can still watch it on YouTube. It went great in Atlanta. And then my second set in Atlanta, I got dead silence, kind of like now. And then my next 2 sets in New York City, I got booed. So in 4 years, I went on stage 4 times. Yeah, you got to go on stage more times than fucking years pass. So this time last year, a buddy of mine introduced me to this place called AV's. And the reason I say it like that, the reason I say it like that is AV's is kind of the predecessor to the West River Comedy Club. The owner, Trevor, of the West River Comedy Club used to hold an open mic night there every Thursday, and a lot of us comedians either started or migrated over there. My buddy introduced me, and he's like, dude, you're really funny. You should go on stage. And I immediately started giving him my bullshit. I was like, oh, dude, I got to work in the timing on my jokes and my tone, and I'm an OSHA 500 instructor. I know I'm really funny, but those jokes take way too long. Now, the students are usually stuck with me for hours. It gives me plenty of time to set up a joke. They just take way too long. Kind of like now. And I think everybody knows what I was being. A pussy. What can I say? I am what I eat. That is a Harry Star Wars push joke for the crowd. May the 4th is around the corner. So that was April of 2024. It is April 2025, and we're at my comedy special. That last bit took a lot to set up. So I'm going to go, this next part is going to be rapid fire funnies. And I think I'm going to go with even more Mexican jokes, all right? Crowd participation. So some of these you may have heard, some of these you may have not. I'm working up towards something, working hard like the goddamn Mexican that I am. And on that note, how many Mexicans can you fit in the back of a work truck?
4. 20.
I love the white people. Always, yeah. 20! One more. Always one more, okay? And because of that, did you hear about the 3-car pileup down in Mexico City last week?
No.
Yeah, half the population went with it. Aw, no. Okay. Why are there no Mexicans in the American Olympic team?
Why?
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Usually some racist in the crowd knows it. Because all the ones that can run, jump, and swim are already over here. I am a swimmer. Why are there no Mexicans in the American NFL?
Why?
Because Juan Carlos Hernández Augusto and Jose Salomon does not fit in the back of a jersey. I'm not going to lie to you. 4 of those were my actual original Mexican name. All right. My Mexican name, I've still got the passport for it. Carlos Augusto Hinojosa Salomon. Ow! Me gusta Augusto. Anyways. So, speaking of sports, I found myself at a local Rush game, right? Local hockey game. And I was doing everything possible to piss off the opposing players, right? I hyper-focused on this one dude named Jet, Jette. And I was like, I must have taken every disrespectful creative liberty with his name. I was like, you missed, Jetta. Watch out, y'all. Genie's back on the ice. Jetta on me, yo mama. That one, I must admit, it didn't quite slap. It was a hockey pun. I mistakenly thought the dude was Canadian, so I was like, Alouette, Gemapella, Jette. And this girl behind me is like, wow, you really seem to hate him. What'd he do to you? Nothing. I'm not even a sports guy. I just go to these sporting events, and I really get off on pissing off the opposing players if they come over and want to fight me, because to me, that sounds like fun. And we're right up against the glass, and you hear me go, did you hear that? Came from a long line of jacks off the tets. The Mexican wants you to come over the wall. And yeah, all the white people behind us just started dying at that joke, because white people, they love Mexican jokes that they don't feel comfortable making in public or while being recorded. And it's guaranteed some drunken guy at the break is going to come up to and be like, hey man, that Mexican wall thing was kind of funny. Can you do one of them Mexican war cries? Sure thing, Tipsy Pop Buck. I'm full of beer and chili cheese dogs. So the next time the Rush scores, I went, and I look over at my buddy Tipsy Pop Buck, and he missed it. He was on his cell phone. But it's okay, because the affirmation drunk white guys, by the way, I love that crowd reaction. Aww. He missed the Mexican war cry. The affirmation white guys behind us lost it. And then they started to drunkenly try to replicate the Mexican war cry, and failing hilariously at it with each attempt. How the hell are you doing it? I didn't realize that even to that, white people could be off cue and off beat. It reminds me of this TikTok a few years ago. I don't know if you saw it. I think it's like a bachelorette party, and these ladies got on like these stands, right? And they put on a song, and then they begin to dance the most atrocious non-existent beat in the history of non-existence. And I and the rest of the races, we all went to online, and we all united in a way that those women could not on the video, and we roasted them online. And then those white women and the rest of our white friends went back to living in their glorious whiteness. I had a manager at work hear that joke, and he was like, if I made that same joke in reverse, I might lose my job. I was like, if my legal brown ass gets illegally pulled over, I might get deported. What I'm saying is one of us, more like one of us, has to walk around with proof of citizenship, and one of us will never be mistaken as an immigrant, legal or otherwise. What I'm saying is we all have a form of privilege, right? With our do's and don'ts and can'ts, right? Beauty is a really good one. Beautiful people are accustomed to getting away with murder while living by these made-up, non-existent rules, right? My ex is a really good example. She's an OnlyFans model. Yeah, someone always snickers when I say that. I was on FaceTime with her practicing the set, and I was like, hey, how am I doing? And she just hits me with, what are you gonna wear? Why? And she was making a joke about me not dressed like a bum. She's like, well, if you dress good, you're gonna feel good, you're gonna do good. And it was at that exact moment that I made the executive decision to not only wear what I was wearing on FaceTime at home, on stage, and record it, but basically dress like the Mexican Lebowski. That might look familiar from the posters, right? All right, so on that note, cheers.
Cheers.
I'm here for your enjoyment. Okay, so I said it feels good to be back on stage, and this next part, this is for my son. I have a 13-year-old son. Are there any other parents in the crowd? I'm gonna go with Sally because I've met your son. How many and how old?
2 boys, 21, 27.
All right, anybody else?
26, 27.
Okay, cool. So parents, you know, it sucks. Oh, nope, can't have that. It sucks. Our job is to say no because those cute, tiny little bastards, they know. Give them the right look with the right time and the right tone and those little eyes. Mm-hmm. You're going to go, how dare you use your powers of evil against me? And go do or buy them something we all know is absolute garbage bullshit. They're only going to play with it once, twice, never touch it again. Parents, am I right?
Yes.
I know every parent says this. I have an amazing kid. I can't wait to tell you about him. And he lives with his mom. We're not together anymore. We co-parent. And she's just done this incredible job of raising this amazing human being, which is even more incredible because at one point, he was a little black kid living in the hood. His mom's the black parent, if anybody couldn't tell. All right? Even more incredible because at one point, he was a little black kid living in the hood. So I guess he was learning other valuable lessons like duck. Aww. My family's like, no, mijito, no. Why, Carlitos, with the little kid that has to do the duck? ¿Por qué? Don't be like that. No seas así. His mother fucking hates that joke. I offered to fly her out for this. She goes, I'm not sure I feel comfortable with the hood jokes. That's my best joke, so I guess you're not coming. She'll literally be like, what you mean the hood? I mean, I used to pick y'all up and drop y'all off on South Atlanta Road in Atlanta. No bullshit. During one of our first dates, she was like, you gotta go, boo. Sure, it's late. Your mom, your dad? Nah, just in case they decide to start shooting at the block. Verbatim on my kid, what she said. I swear, it's always the beautiful, crazy ones that necessitate weapons. So I just started picking them up and dropping them off with my 45 on me. Now, some people go, Chico, what do you mean dropping them off? Let me explain. He's not biologically mine. When we first started dating, he was 3 months old. And when we stopped dating, he was 3 years old. So it was one of those cases where I'm like, you may not be mine, but damn it, I'm yours. And yeah, I remember a time when we played house. I remember waking him up, feeding him, taking him to school, picking him up from school, feeding him, putting him to sleep, believing in him, wiping his tears, wiping his ass. I got pissed on, I got shit on, I got vomited on, I got cried on, I got laughed on, I got hugged on, I got slept on. I carried him through the airport. I carried him to bed. I raised him, reprimanded, believing in love, and loved him. And I've told him, all that sounds great and all, because he is going to watch this. But it is nothing compared to what his mom does full time, right? It doesn't hold a candle. So for her and for all the mothers, single, otherwise, can we get up for them real quick? She's also gonna watch this, so hey. every man in here that co-parents knows exactly what I'm doing. Putting in some brownie points for the next time I fuck up. My son's, he's mixed. He's a little bit of, he's actually a lot black. He's black with a little bit of white. So he actually does kind of look like he's lying, especially if he grows the hair out. And so one time we're in Atlanta in a park, we're doing a family day, and we run into one of his mom's coworkers, and homegirl takes one look at me, one look at him, and she just goes, girl, you got you an Arab. And he looks just like his daddy too. To this day, we don't bother correcting people because we still get, he looks just like his daddy. Instead, I just went full Arabic on her. Shukran, assalamu alaikum. Thank you, peace be on you. Yeah, I'm an asshole, but I may be an educated one. I shake my imaginary tie. I joke around with my kid the same way like you will go back and forth and joke around with him. And I waited for him to make any joke about race. And I was like, is that right, white boy? And yeah, if you have any friends or family members or kids who are mixed, for some odd reason, they hate getting called white. And I'm like, I'm still joking around. I can't call you white and I can't call you black. The fuck you want me to call you? And his 3-year-old ass went, son? And by the way, you may not have heard it, but that sound that a couple of men in the crowd just made, yeah, that sound came from a place of repressed emotions. I made you feel something, didn't I? Somebody's kid might get their first hug, maybe even an I love you, or one of those, hey. Look at you laughing at the abuse again. Kids say the darndest thing. That is absolutely true. I remember one time, he was 9 years old. I flew him and his mother to New York City so he could watch me teach. And in New York City, you have to do a mandatory 2-hour drug and alcohol awareness course to work in construction. Because I don't know if you've heard about New York City and drugs, right? And literally, my students' favorite joke in that class is, but yo, teach, I'm already really aware of drugs and alcohol. I know, Travis, sit down, we're here for you, all right? So I brought my kid to be like my little helper. Bring your black kid to drug and alcohol awareness course. And he was a hit, right? He was helping him sign in and doing the paperwork, and he passed out halfway through. At the break, I took him across the street to get him food and a reward for being a good little helper, right? And in the middle of this cafe in Queens, his 9-year-old ass just goes, Pop, you just got through doing the marijuana class and the methamphetamines. I'm an OSHA instructor. I teach a 2-hour drug and alcohol awareness course. I'm not teaching them how to sling drugs. Shut the fuck up. Oh, my misadventures. Oh. Yeah, man, kids these days, they're growing up a lot faster than we did, which is kind of scary considering all the raunchy shit we heard and said growing up, right? Plus, kids in the city, kids in the hood, they typically grow up a little bit faster than us. However, it's a completely different thing when your child repeats your fucking comedy to you. Like that story about me picking him up in the hood armed. He'll let that one fly in front of white people. White people will call the cops on me if I make a joke about reprimanding a puppy. Not on my watch, mister. So I did mention earlier, he basically made me an instant mail bitch, right? And I was visiting him last year. The instant mail bitch was visiting him. And he knows how important the comedy is for me. And that I hadn't got back on stage. And he was like, hey, Pop, what about the comedy? And I started to give him my bullshit. And he just cuts me off. And with this eat shit grin, my 12-year-old went, hey, Pops, I want to see you back on stage. How dare you use your powers of evil against me? And it worked. We're coming up. And like I said, he is my biggest supporter. It's just my comedy is not friendly for kids, like at all. It's not child friendly at all. And my fear is that my comedy is going to get referenced in like one of those college essays or college interviews. So tell me the relationship between you and your parents. Well, my mom is beautiful, normal, works a regular job, and my pops makes dick jokes for a living. No! That's the real joke. I barely get paid to come up here. And I'm sending someone else's black ass kid to college? Yeah, I said it. I had another one of my exes hear that joke and she said, well, shit, you can send my black ass kids too. Nah, we broke up. That's your husband. But I respected her for trying though. What she and him and none know is there's no money. None. I think my master comedy plan is I'm going to pay for college using department store credit cards. You know the credit cards. They're always like trying to push them on you. They got those high-ass interest rates. Department stores that I can't mention because if I do, I'll get sued for money. I already fucking said I don't have. I think I'm just going to max them all out, pay for all 4 years in one go. And I figure if I can't pay it back, fuck it. I could just always take a one-way skydiving trip. He is going to pull the chute, right? Oh, we got to work in a cleanup. Oh, I'm kidding. That's a joke. I would never do that to myself. I would do the adult thing, the American thing, and file for bankruptcy like a good goddamn American. Yeah! Speaking of bungee jumping, remember how I told you that I got laid off and I fell off one of those roofs 20 feet head first and it should have killed me? Last year, I got to knock something off my bucket list. I went bungee jumping for the first time. Yeah. And I really wish I could stand in front of you, all of you, and be like, this was a story of Chico American facing his fears. Woo! No, this close to bitching out. Because they literally walk you right up to this ledge. You are looking down 300 feet. You have this little bar behind you. All right, there's this canyon and this stream where all the bodies probably are. And they just go 3, 2, 1. And I swear, I really wanted to face it, right? And I fucking couldn't. I had to like granny drop, let go of the bar and just drop, right? And all you saw in the video, because I paid for the video package, was my fat ass going. A little side story, right? Yeah, that fall should have killed me. It should have made me quadriplegic. Explains a lot, right? But even before the fall, I've always hated the sensation of falling to this day, and even before that. And don't get me wrong, I love heights and high-risk activities, right? I love riding motorcycles, fast cars. I love going on roller coasters, planes. Clearly, I love dating women in the hood. Atlanta, Bronx, North Side. Hey, North Side! North Side!
No more.
Yeah, but the sensation of falling, something about that, it's the unmanliest thing, right? Like in the military, if you made me rappel 40 feet off the tower, no problem. Manly!
Oh, shit.
Manly! But if you made me jump 40 feet into the pool, the drill instructors would smoke me afterwards because you're not supposed to show emotion. And they're like, Simpson, what the fuck is that look, the sad-ass clown? So I do the bungee. I come back up like this. And one of the instructors was like, hey, how was that? About it. I was so nervous that, you know, I'm waiting my turn and I'm literally just watching white person after white person just whee! And I'm watching their video package because that's how they say the video package, they show it to you. And in the video, it just looks like you drop and go away. I forgot about the whole bungee part, you know, the whole come back up part. So all you hear is my fat ass going, and then I start to come back up. And all you heard 300 feet in that canyon is, fuck, over and over and over. So much fun.
So much fun.
Haven't had fun like that since my best friend and I went through the Atlanta airport. My best friend, I don't want to use his real name, so let's call him fucking Carl, right? We are in our early 20s. We've been through the Atlanta airport many times. And as a brown man living post 9/11 with this Navajo-ass, Muhammad-ass, Habibi-ass nose, I don't fuck around with TSA. Like at all. I don't even wear draws. Sir, you got on chonies? Nope. So they could give me the most bullshit commands. Sir, shoes off, take everything off, step into the machine, put your hands up, now put your dick on the glass.
Oh.
Take those balls and move 'em to the left. Take those balls and move 'em to the right. That fucking agent could be like, yeah. Do it again, slowly, all together. Dead eyes and motherfucking cooperation, y'all. Because there is no activity that I can think can be better improved on by an anal cavity search. Just not that kind of dude. It's not my thing. So yeah, we go through the machine that checks to see if you got on chonies. I'm grabbing my shit, and we hear what no brown man living post 9/11 America with this nose ever wants to hear. Sir, we need you to come with us. 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 Shit. Yep, sure enough, too fat as fuck. Rent-a-cop looking motherfuckers are coming up with the "will put them up your butt" gloves. You know what they look like, okay? They're like light blue. They don't quite fit. They got like excess wrinkles on the sides and the tip. Looking at those gloves through the time force continuum, you can just feel the butt rate. So they come up to us and grab Carl, the blonde-haired, green-eyed white guy. Oh my, how the tables have turned. And as I've mentioned, we've been to this airport dozens of times, all right? So once you go to the machine that checks to see if you got on chonies, they all lead to the same escalator. To get to the escalator, you go through you pass by these rooms I'd never noticed before. They're like these glass rooms that I will now refer to as the opaque rooms of grope and rape. And that's where they took Carl. At first, I couldn't see anything, right? And then next thing you see, boom, like they threw him against the wall. And remember those gloves? Outside of the body, outside of the legs, balls. They flip them around, boom, again, outside of the body, outside of the legs, balls. That is the sound of balls getting manhandled. The door opens, Carl comes out, and he smiles. Let me explain. Carl's always been the normal friend, the calm, cool, collected Yelp review guy. And I don't know if you can imagine this, I've always been the crazy best friend. I'm assuming other normal people would have handled it differently than I did. I would like run up and be like, hey, what happened? Are you okay? I'm right here. No, don't make eye contact. It's okay. I, on the other hand, see my best friend of 20 years at that time, 30, going on 30 now. He comes out and smiles. And while I didn't mean to do this in the middle of the Atlanta airport, I went, yes! That's how you start a motherfucking vacation. Woo! Went up and smacked him right on the ass. Yeah! Proceeded to, pun intended, bust his balls the entire way to the terminal bar. To the terminal. Proceeded to give him a hard time all the way to the terminal bar because after that shit, you gotta get a drink, right?
Yes.
The cute bartender asked exactly what you're wondering now. Why the hell did they grab him? Those machines check for more than just to see if you got on chonies, right? They check to see if there's possible bomb residues. So Carl works with computers. I guess something got in his hands and, TSA, white guy, possible bomb residue. You know what? Sometimes that is just great work all around. Yeah, go America. Traveling. I love to do it. I do it for a living. And because of that, I found myself in Israel, October of 2023. I was in Israel during the attack. And what's weird about, especially here, when I tell that story, I'll usually follow up with what it was like to hear the siren and my fat ass running to the bomb shelter. And then someone will usually be like, oh my God, you were actually there. Yeah, what the hell did you think I meant when I said I was in fucking Israel during the fucking attack? I really do think people think that I was talking about being on a Zoom Teams call, right? Like, listen, Shannon, I think this quarter we should, what is that? Oh my God, it felt so real. It's like I was really there. What I'm saying is people are fucking weird. Now, a little sidebar. The visas. As somewhat of an expert in having and getting a visa is a completely different experience. You have to hand your passport to some random Israeli who's going to take it to some random government building and bring it back to you in just a few random weeks. Okay, so not only am I a paranoid Marine veteran, I'm also a Mexican immigrant holding an American passport. Do you have any idea what kind of gold that is? I felt bad for the poor Israeli that was trying to take my passport. Okay, my friend, let go. My friend, Okay, so the attack. Prior to October 2023, the last attack only lasted 11 days. However, this time they received an aerial, land, and an amphibious assault. Are there any other Marines in the crowd? Okay, yeah, that's our shit, okay? Not so much fun on the receiving end of it. And we knew that the attack was gonna last much longer, right? At this time, I am living in the town of Yomer, which is by the city of Beersheba, which is about an hour and a half away from the Strip. I got to watch in real time as the attackers got within 45 fucking minutes of me. Why don't you do me a favor? Close your eyes. Picture your bedroom. Picture someone an hour and a half away. And now picture someone within 45 fucking minutes of you, all right? And I was thinking the same thing you're probably thinking, where the fuck was the goddamn army? Somebody fucked up. Originally, a lot didn't think there was gonna be an attack. And the few that thought there was going to be attack, that the attack was going to come from the east. The Gaza Strip's in the west, right? The army eventually mobilized and they were able to stop them and push the enemy back. And as far as me, it was a harrowing tale of waiting it out 4 days in my apartment until I could fly out. Now, I know that there's a lot of comics that are like, I can't fight. I have to hide. Not me, okay? This Mexican comes equipped with commensal ass-kicking mode, all right? And I'm quoting one of my war buddies. He taught me, there is no such thing as a fair fight in war. He taught me to say, I will bite you on your bare ball sack to win a fight. Now, is that how you want to get to your version of heaven, Valhalla, whatever the fuck? With this rapidly biting on your nutsack? No, there's no honor in that. No honor in that death. They don't have a Second Amendment. I don't have the right to a weapon. That's fine, because I had this here kitchen knife, and I was waiting for a motherfucker to come through. Oh yeah, dude, you want to Allah Akbar? Chico's gonna on the lay. You best believe I'm gonna talk shit the whole way out. Biting on the ball sack, talking shit, stabbing. Bless you. So tight. Oh shit. Now, speaking of possibly catching a stabbing, in my 30s is when I moved to New York City. And as someone from the South, there were a lot of things that I had to get accustomed to, like the lack of space, okay? I'm on the sidewalk, no space, zero space. However, as a crazy and a creative mind, I wanted to see if I could have a crazy or creative way to work around for it. So I found out that day that the New Yorker, the only thing they do less than space is people with pit bulls and crazies. And I was fresh out of pit bulls. I wanted to see, bless you, what would happen if I started talking crazy to myself in the middle of the sidewalk. So I just went. Let me tell you, it fucking worked. Like Moses spreading the seed. I took advantage of this and I hopped into the subway. And I got a conductor who was calling in stops like airstrikes in Iraq. Approaching the Hunts Point station. We're approaching the Hunts Point station. We're at the Hunts Point station. Mind the gap as you step out. Mind the gap as you step out. Again, this is public transportation, so it made it sound more like, mind the gap as you step out, you pieces of shit. I step out. I walk to my car and I find out that I have a ticket for parking 9 feet away from a fire hydrant. Yeah. Anywhere else in the country, you're fine because you're 9 fucking feet from a fire hydrant. But in New York City, fuck you. Not just for daring to drive for, but daring to exist. Here's a ticket. Here's a fine. Pay us, bitch. The New Yorker is mean, boy. They hate shit like manners. They think it's like suspect. Another thing they really read into, heavy breathing. Yo, dead ass man, what the fuck you breathing all hard for? Because I'm fat! I mean nothing by it, but there was a time where I was a lean, mean Marine Corps fighting machine. And now I've eaten so many tacos with queso, no amount of cardio is gonna save me. And I've tried. Another way, love tacos, who doesn't? Another way that we might possibly catch a stabbing in this day and age, online dating. A very, very long time, another lifetime ago, I got out of a 5-year relationship. And when that relationship ended, the dating apps took off, right? And I noticed a lot of differences, okay? The number one difference that I noticed, privacy, okay? 5-year relationship, we lived together, we never peed or pooped in front of each other. I know, amateurs. Online dating comes out, I swipe right on somebody, we connect, right? We match, she comes over, we do our thing, Chico got lucky. And she's like, babe, can I use the restroom? The apartment that I had, every room had its own bathroom. So I was like, babe, that door right there. And I hear her ask me a question, and I turn around, and my bathroom door's wide the fuck open, and she's sitting in the toilet seat looking at me like, what? Oh, okay. This is a thing. I told you, hood women, they love me, I love them. North side. So some of my online dating misadventures as a guy, because the ladies have a completely different experience, right? I had a woman ask me to co-sign on her car loan the day after we almost hooked up. I had a woman ask me to pay for her upcoming phone bill right after we hooked up. Someone said, Jesus. I look like him, all right? I had a woman agree to spend the night and immediately go, hey, can my homegirl come too? Wait. Nothing sexual or fun or for her to join in. I I think it was like moral support, security, I guess. And don't think I didn't notice earlier when I mentioned my OnlyFans ex-girlfriend, and some people in the crowd are like, right? Okay, I've watched the videos. That wasn't originally a punchline. And I'm like, does the crowd think that I would actually think that I'd be someone's internet boyfriend schmuck because I'd actually pay $14.99 a month for the girlfriend experience? No. We really did date. There's like 1 million photos of us online. She just happens to be an OnlyFans model. And yeah, I met her online also. And because of her, technically, I'm also an OnlyFans content creator. So,
Feet pics.
feet pics. So, never heard feet pics. Online dating in the South and the North, completely different. The dating apps in the South are going to give you a completely different experience than the dating apps in the North. In the South, your Jessicas and Marias and Shaniquas, for lack of a better word, they're going to come out kind of segregated. It's a Southern joke. Those same apps in the North, in New York City, completely different experience. I put in Latina to see what I would get, and like a bunch of black chicks popped up. Hey, I get it. Everybody's mixed. Miss Turner had a Senor Lopez, and I'm seeing the results of that in a profile. The South has like a really weird equivalent, okay? Try putting in Native American and watch you get a gang of white girls just pop up, right? Isn't that right, miss? I'm 137, Native American, white girl Mindy. Okay, I apologize. Okay, I do that for the joke every single time. I try to find the token white girl and orient myself for the joke, okay? You're the best. Speaking of the Orient, back in New York City, I put in Asian to see what I would get. Like 8 profiles, Broadway Flushings, Queens, 0 matches. I guess the Asian ladies weren't checking out for this Mexican. I was already down the rabbit hole, so I put in Middle Eastern, and the FBI popped up. Hey! Now, when it comes to dating, the New Yorker is, for lack of a better word, kind of advanced. The way I sound when I'm courting women in New York City, it sounds like I'm setting sex boundaries with hookers. What do you like? Poppy, regular shit. I'm a regular dude. Tits, ass, mouth, vag, that's it. I don't need no feet, no pegging, no butt play, worship, whatever, no pee. I swear, to us Southerners, it sounds like the New Yorker had to grow up so fucking fast that regular sex got boring around the 7th grade and they had to spice it up. And on that note, if a bitch peed on you because it's her kink, clap your hands. Oh, you too? Yeah. It's okay. I got her back. I was like, oh, do you want to play? Okay. I teach construction workers at construction sites in New York City. I drink that disgusting ass water. I chugged hate fueled coffee. You know the kind, right? I drank protein shakes with workout shit and vitamins, right? All ground up, and I held it in all day. And I waited for her to come home, and I was like, hey, babe, you want to take a shower together? And I waited for her to get in the shower and close the door before I... Like the cops hosing down the 1963 civil rights activists, man, it was powerful. It was potent. I'm from the South. It wasn't yellow. It was yeller. And so was she. She was hollering. Hey, I feel kind of racist because I was a Southern man hosting down a black woman. Oh. And I don't mean to kink shame ladies, okay, in and out of New York City, okay? Just for the love of God, please ask permission before you try some shit on us. All right, male or female, doesn't matter. Because I remember one time I'm getting the, the oral pleasure. And before I had a chance to react or anything, she just grabs my balls and goes, why? No, why? Why would you do it? Why? No. And she freaks out. She's like, oh my God, I thought it was your kink. My kink? What kind of bullshit kink is that? It takes a second for the voice to come back down. She was like, I thought it was your ball busting kink. Ball busting kink? What the fuck is that? So she takes out her phone and she shows me this video of a skinny, creepy looking white guy, and he's allowed a woman to tie his legs, tie his arms. He can't touch his shit. And she would hit him with the ball, say it's okay, and blow him. Yeah, no, exactly. Literally, she'd be like, punch him in the balls, boom, oh, no, it's okay. She'd elbow him in the balls, and boom, oh, no, it's okay. She'd kneel in the walls and be like, no, it's okay. Oh. And I'm like, fucking why? How boring is regular sex for y'all? Are there any Rapid City dating misadventures? Asked my hypothetical person in the crowd. Sure. I've already mentioned a few. I'll give you a heads up. My friends and I, we don't like using their real names, so we give them like knockoff, anti-hero nicknames and titles. So we've already mentioned $50 upcoming phone bill chick. There's also what my friends and I refer to as the not sure, unconfirmed, somewhat, maybe homeless chick who hid that fact in the fact that she was probably a crackhead until date number 2, or as I like to call it, the sleepover date. Nothing better than me waking up in the morning going, hey, baby, how you doing? And she just goes, oh my God, you gotta go, you gotta go, oh, you gotta go. I met a woman here in Rapid at a cafe, and she walks in, really beautiful, and I walk up to her and I say, hey, I think you're really beautiful. Would love to take you on a date. And eventually she's like, yeah, sure, here's my phone number. Why don't you pick me up after work at the, and if you know what this is, there are some people here that are not from Rapid, and people that are gonna watch this are not from Rapid City, right? She told me, why don't you pick me up at the Wavy? And I should have used Google Maps. Yeah, every time. I should have used Google Maps because it would have spelled out the fucking acronym, but I used Apple Maps, which fucking didn't. And I was like, Wavy on Quincy? She goes, sure. After work, I'm pulling up. I call her up on the Bluetooth on my phone. And Wavy is short for Working Against Violence. This woman has asked me to pick her up at the battered women's shelter. No! I immediately call her. I'm like, I can't exist here. Meet me back at the cafe. Meet me back at the cafe. I'm trying to talk to her like not too aggressively. Yeah, my friends and I, we call her the Wave. So after open mic night one time, I go to gas up my vehicle, and this really sexy lady walks by, and I go up to her and I say, hey, I think you're really beautiful. Let's take you on a date. Yeah, I have no pickup lines, okay? I just get to the point. Think you're pretty, want a date. And she was like, when? Well, we could do it tomorrow night, or we could do it right now if you're feeling adventurous. And I swear, this woman went, okay. And she hopped into my truck, to which I went, all right, my kind of date. She wants to go to the casino. On the way there, we're doing the get to know you game. And she goes, I don't mean to freak you out, but I'm a felon. To which I said, I don't mean to freak you out. I'm a Marine veteran, so not my first time. We get to the casino, we're chilling, right? We're playing slots. And I noticed that every time I gave her a hug up here, no problem. But once I gave her a hug down here, she'd move, and she tried to explain. I'd be like, I don't want to know, plausible deniability. Which might have been a good call because not long after that, 5 Rapid City cops walk in, and they go, we're looking for a man that just walked in with a checkered blue shirt. As soon as he said that, every guy in there went, clear. They go to the back and they get him, and I look at my date, and she's doing this weird little like shuffle. I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm not supposed to be armed. Yes! 37 years old, never had this happen, armed felon in the vehicle. Yeah! And my friends were like, Chico, buddy, weren't you worried that she was armed? I'm like, she hopped into a vehicle with a complete stranger. Of course she was hot. I told you. Hood women love me, I love them. North side.
North side.
Plus the slutty, degenerate Marine in me thought it was kind of hot. Yeah, we call her the felon. I was walking to the bar next door, right? And opposite of me comes this really beautiful young lady. Same thing. I think you're really pretty. Would love to take you on a date. And she goes, sure, what about right now? To which I went, all right, my kind of date, because there's a lesson that I just fucking refuse to learn. So we go in the bar, y'all. It's a Monday night. There's maybe 5-ish people there, and they all thought that the 2 extroverts on their first date were the cutest thing ever. Again, we're chilling, playing darts, and then a cop walks in. Yeah, these all follow a trend. The cop goes to the back, I guess to make sure that it's clear, walks up to her, and fuck off. I don't know if that's her dad, her ex, her brother, whatever. I don't want to get involved. They talk for a little bit, walk over to her coat, talk a little bit more. She grabs her coat and they walk the fuck out. And it's a tiny little bar. We're all like, the fuck? So I walk over to the front door and I wait until they're about a good 25, 35 feet away before I pop my head out and I go, hey, we're in the middle of the date. Is she okay? Everything all right? The cop just turns around and goes, everything is fine. She's under arrest. And he puts her in the back of the fucking cop car. I turn around to the whole bar and the bar's like, fuck just happened, dude? I was like, my date just got arrested. Can I close out my tab? I've never had this happen before. So obviously I call it a night. I hop in my vehicle. I head home. And then the most embarrassing part happens. I pull up to them next to them at the light. I swear, I am pretending to not look at them. The cop's looking at me to make sure that I'm not looking at them. She's in the backseat like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm sitting there like pretending to fuck around with my radio like, no. I get home and I text this story to my trainer in New York City and I send him the photos because I was the asshole who snuck photos. And he goes, dude, what if they saved your life? She's got like 5 bodies in her freezer. To which I was like, dude, I'm totally gonna quote you on stage. And yeah, we call her the convict. I swear they're not all stories of failure, okay? I have met some very beautiful, wonderful ladies out here. For example, I dated a redhead. I don't know if you've ever dated a redhead. They like it rough and they like to talk shit. How rough? We have a safe word. She was like, we do? I was like, yeah, bitch, stop. Or, this is as hard as I'm gonna choke you. I swear that woman is leaving money on the table by not doing BDSM professionally, but I digress. So I'm polyamorous, hello? I'm polyamorous, and, what? Yeah, I'm polyamorous. So I've had girlfriends. I'm a cuss out. I know, the oral pleasure. However, hands down, look at my eyes, going cross-eyed, hands down, the most powerful one ever gotten ever, right? And I'm content with just fucking finishing. But then she started talking shit. She just goes, I knew you weren't ready for this. Oh, okay, cool. You want to talk shit? Bet. You trying to top me out? I'm gonna tap you out. And y'all, I must have done every disrespectful thing I could think of to accomplish that goal. Just imagine Kylo Ren screaming, more! Or fucking Goku going super fucking saiyan, man! Goddamn Mar from Home Alone 2 getting electrocuted. She would not tap the fuck out. Resulted in a bedroom injury. Busted blood vessel. Yeah. Doctor was like, you fucking idiot. Come in here so I can take a look at your dick. Make sure that you're okay. I'm happy to report that I am. And then I went back for some more. 14 out of 10 would recommend again. She was apologetic for the injury, and I was like, baby, it's fine. Just do me a favor. Please dial it back down from like a 14 down to a 2. Yeah, my friends and I, we call for the shot back. I hear that sound when I tell the story or during quiet times when I think of her. I swear I saw God. I did a trip to the beach to get away from it all. My buddy was trying to make a joke. He's like, did you do anything to prepare for your trip to Cancun? And I was like, yeah, a vasectomy. I think we can all agree, man or female, we're out for the fucking, not for the breeding out in these streets, okay? But statistically, too many of you are saying yes to that, all right? So my vasectomy was truly a story where I got to experience that camaraderie and brotherhood amongst men, right? I asked men of all ages, both professionally and personally, and they all gave me just about the same advice. Chico, do what the doctor says. Don't ice it up. Don't let anything touch it. Don't try to have sex. Chico, just sit at home and do nothing 4 to 5 days. You'll be fine. To which I was like, be in bed 4 to 5 days doing nothing with my PlayStation? Bitch, please. I'm a millennial. That's child's play. What they didn't warn me about were the pre-op and the post-op meetings, right? So for the pre-op meeting, it was open mic night. I had no new jokes, so I was going to have to come up on stage and do something that I hate, which is repeat jokes, says the person who's been up here for an hour repeating jokes. And I get a call. It's the doctor's office, and they're like, hey, the doctor wants to see you for a pre-op meeting. No one had warned me about this, so I thought it was like paperwork. So I go over there and I fill out my paperwork, and she was like, oh, okay, the doctor will see you now. Oh, okay, cool. So I'm sitting there. He comes in and he goes over all the same thing that my friends told me. Stay in bed, don't let it touch you. Sure. And then he goes, all right, it's about this time that I ask you to drop trowel. Oh, okay. So I drop my pants. He gets down there. He grabs one of my boys, bare hands, by the way. And from down there, I hear him go, you're not going to like this. What? You never want to hear that from someone holding huevos, let alone your huevos. He goes, I need to check for hernias. How are you going to check for BAM? And he slams my ball to the bottom of my stomach. And then he goes, cough! Again. Now the other one. BAM! Cough! Again. I don't think I can. I swear that doc could have been like, cough, bitch. I willingly did this to myself. And then I had something to talk about on comedy night that night. So there was no story with the vasectomy. It went great. I got nothing with it. The post-op meeting, though, you have to wait 3 months after you do your vasectomy, and you have to still have protected sex because you can still get someone pregnant. You still got boys in the chamber. And for the post-op meeting, they give you this really efficient-looking packet. It's got instructions and like a cup that one would use for like a urine sample, right? And the instructions say you got within 45 minutes to deposit the sample, to bring it to the lab at a specific temperature, and I knew I was going to fuck all that up, right? So I called the lab. They're like, yeah, you can come up here and you can do it in person. Cool. Side note, Shop at bought me a Christmas gift. It was a Hawaiian t-shirt with my face all over it. I wore it to work that day. I loved it. My friends loved it. She knew that I wore it. She wanted a photo. She works next to the lab. So I was like, hey babe, I'll explain later, but let's just make a selfie. Let's do it in person. I'll explain later why, right? I get to the lab and they're only open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Yeah, asshole. I'm also working during those times. So I get there and the young lady behind the counter looks and sounds like she hates everything about life. Are you here for the semen analysis, sir? It's okay. I'll take you to the back room. And the movies make it sound like the back room's like it's got like a bed or a couch, and the movies and magazines. Nope. It's this tiny little strip mall office with this tiny little hallway leading to this tiny ass bathroom. Sir, when you're done with your sample, please put it right here. And then she walked back to her office. Hey, I get it. It's awkward enough. We both know why I'm there. Plus, as I mentioned, they were only open the same times that I'm working, so I have to do this during my lunch break, right? So it's 22 minutes to get there, 22 minutes to get back, so I'm kind of in a rush, so not helping. All right, no magazines, nothing. I guess she figures every guy that exists and has an iPhone or a smartphone ever since like 2008 when they came out. So I pull out my phone, I pull out my favorite spicy site, and what happened next, I had to go back to my OnlyFans ex and ask, because that same site back at my place, my Wi-Fi, my IP address, I guess it remembers what I like. You know, the two amateur casting, the two girls with the one guy. Anyways. However, I wasn't at home. I wasn't in my IP address. So I guess it's going to pull what the local populace is into. And the top 3 videos that came up were transgender porn, man begs to be pegged, bisexual males. What the fuck, Rapid City? Am I back in New York? Not helping. So I quickly pull up my favorite video, you know, the amateur casting with the 2 girls and the 1 guy. Anyways, right? And I hit play. And I forgot to turn the volume down. So this tiny little office with this tiny little hallway with this tiny little bathroom, and all you hear is amateur casting on full fucking blast. Ah, not fucking helping. And I'm literally sitting there like, ah! And I managed to furiously procure like the most minimal amount one could possibly give. The lab wants you to refrain from touching yourself 2 to 7 days so you can give enough of a sample. And I was like, great. Watch me be the only Mexican to fail a fucking semen analysis of all things, a disgrace to my own people, and I have to come back and do all this bullshit again. All right, so I'm done. I got my sample. I close it. It's time for me to, I gotta wash my hands. I'm in the bathroom. Where's the fucking soap? There's no soap. All right, so I'm trying to open the door without touching anything, and I put my sample where she told me to, and there's the soap. Oh. All right, let me explain. Some adolescent males, through a lot of trial and error, they will very quickly figure out why adult males prefer lotion and conditioner versus, let's say, shampoo or soap. Because if a little bit of shampoo, if a little bit of soap gets in the pee hole, you're going to piss out painful fire bubbles for a few days. And now you know something about my childhood. Yes! Adolescent misadventures. So I'm looking at the soap here and I realize, oh, I'm betting some poor bastard fucked that up, and that's why it has to be strategically put there. And that's why she looks dead behind the eyes. I fuck it. I wash my hands. I take my form. I bring it to her. She's at her desk. Thank you, sir. You'll get your results within 48 hours. Have a great day. Damn. I have never prayed for someone to get more laid than me, but please come down and bless her. Make her not this, right? I go next door. Shopback comes out and goes, hey, why'd you want to do it in person versus, just sending me a photo? I had a vasectomy 13 weeks ago. You work next to the lab. Do the math. Cheese. So, to close out, as I've already mentioned, my best friend, he's the calm, cool, collected Yelp review guy. I'm more of the mainstream degenerate Marine. I like, some cheap beer, some cheap cigars, some cheap women. And while me and my company are not on fucking Yelp, ever since my first comedy set, my first open mic night, I've always done this thing called the Yelp review, right? I let the crowd tell me what they think of my set. Okay, I'll even give you the mic. Show of hands, who wants to give me a Yelp review? Talk into the mic right now, go ahead. Yeah, put your hand down. So, the comics know that I do this bit on open mic nights, right? And I wasn't kidding earlier. I am an OnlyFans content creator. I post my comedy on OnlyFans. Ow! And the comics also know that I'm an OnlyFans content creator. And when I record, it can only be me, unless I want to do a shit ton of paperwork, which I don't. So the comics know this. I did the Yelp review one night, and I put the mic down. One of the comics gets up, and he gets in the frame. He puts his head down on the mic. I put my hand behind his head, and he screams into the mic, 5 stars, motherfucker, which is what every single one of you are. Thank you so much for being here, supporting me during my first comedy special. I love all of you. So, I close out my set the exact same way every single time. I was born Carlos Augusto Hinojosa Salomon. My name is Carlos Simpson, and I am Chico American. I love all of you. Good night. All right, sir, now put your dick on the glass. I need to take those balls and move them to the right. Just whitewash it. See you, Clark.
Hi.
Let's see it for you, sir. I'm assuming once you hit 30, that check engine light's gonna come on, and I hit the fucking mileage.
Let's turn off. Twos.
Set up the fuck out. Let's hope in the bedroom injury. Busted blood vessel. Dropping them off. Let me explain. He's not biologically mine. Therefore, I went, yes! That's how you start a motherfucking vacation. Wow! Stacked on the ass. Proceeded to bust his balls all the way to the shirt. They hate for some odd reason to get called white boy. And I'm just joking around with him like, I can't call you white and I can't call you black. What the fuck do you want me to call you? And his little ass goes, son. Your American passport. Do you know what gold that is to Mexican fucking Mexican? I'm not the hand. Someone else. My American passport that I stood in line for. All right. I didn't go to the wall. Yeah. Well, I think about it, and the next thing I know, she went. What's this? Some of the days she gives me a call and she just goes, I blew up a bridge. 5 bars, motherfucker. Yep.
Holy shit, you go jump. You.
Wow. Great job.